Hi guys, and welcome to Escape with Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we are reviewing the Militado ML23. So this is a watch that I recently got in, and I've ended up really liking the watch. I'm usually not a big fan of bicompact chronographs. Usually that's because they have the Seiko VK movement in them. This one has a Miyota 6S21, so it's a little bit different, a little bit more useful, and I think it just... I don't know what it is about this watch. I think the dial has something to do with it as well, and obviously the price. So let's get into the price and the specifications. So you are getting a 316L stainless steel case, sapphire crystal, BGW9 lume on the dial and the hands, the Miyota 6S21 quartz chronograph movement. You're getting a push-pull crown, a screw-down case back, and 100 meters of claimed water resistance. And then you're getting a what they're calling a premium leather strap, and I have to agree, it is a very nice leather strap. The watch comes in 6 different colorways, and you can pick it up now for $110 on their early bird pricing. I believe the normal retail price is about $140. So you're saving $30 if you act quickly. I will leave the link down in the video description. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. That'll just take you right to the website, and you can pick out the color that you guys want. But yeah, I say we get right into the review of the Militado ML23. Before we do a quick wrist check today, wearing the Speedmaster 3592.50, an absolute grail of mine, and I haven't been able to take it off since I got it, with good reason, but still. All right, let's get into the review of this chronograph. All right, so when it comes to dimensions, we've got a case diameter of 40 millimeters, 12.7 millimeter thick, a standard 20 millimeter lug width, lug tip to lug tip of 48.1 millimeters, and on the supplied leather strap, it weighs 68 grams. So this is definitely not a watch for the small wrists. You can see here, it's got some nice turn down to the lug, so it does hug the wrist nicely, but 40 millimeters by 48 millimeters, it definitely has some wrist presence, which I'm a huge fan of. There's a lot of these watches that are like 38 millimeters, and it's just a little bit too small for me. So yeah, I am happy with the case size on this thing. If you guys are okay with a little bit of, wrist presence, this one is not bad at all. And you can see it here on my 7.5-inch wrist, and I can definitely pull it off. I think it wears great. I think it wears nice and comfortable and low to the wrist. There's no real sharp edges on it either, so it just feels ultra comfortable. I think the dial color lends itself to being a strap monster, so you can throw a bunch of different color straps at this watch and it's going to look good. Browns, blues, blacks, I think they'll all look pretty darn good, and you can see that here. And we also have no issues with strap clearances, so yeah, you can pretty much throw whatever strap you want on this thing and it'll work. All right, so let's talk about case finishing on this. And case finishing, it's going to be a nice and quick and easy one. It is fully polished, 100% polished, except for the case back, which we'll show you here in just a second. But you can see here, polishing seems to be done pretty nice. The transitions on the case are nice and crisp without being sharp. This bottom edge here has been rounded off nicely, so it's not, digging into the wrist. It doesn't feel kind of nasty on the wrist either. This transition right here is also nice and smooth, so really no issues with it other than the fact that it is fully polished. And you can see here, I've only worn this a few times, and I do have some scratches on it, just minor scratches, but just something you're going to have to live with a fully polished case like this. We have a fully polished set of crown and pushers here, as you can see, unsigned as well, so that's a little bit of a bummer. I'd like to see a signed crown on this. I do like the crown though. It's nice and short, and it is a quartz movement, so you're not going to have to deal with it a lot, but you can easily pull this out and manipulate the time if you want to. So really no issues with that. We do have drilled lugs there for easier strap changes too, so that's nice. I'd say the case finishing on this watch is about what I expected. It's nicely done. It's not anything super impressive, but it's unoffensive as well. So the case polishing, you can see here getting up real nice and close. It's definitely not perfect, but it is, I'd say, acceptable, more than acceptable at this price point. Flipping it over to the case back, a simple screw down case back, circular brushing, which is nice, so you're not going to get that all gunked up and scratched up. Simple Militado branding there right in the middle. Yeah, really nothing really to say here. Pretty standard case back. Yeah, feels good, looks good, no issues there. All right, so let's talk about the crystal. First things first, we will test it for sapphire, and it is positive for sapphire. So we're looking at a double dome sapphire crystal with clear and a reflective coating on the underside. It's not the best crystal. It's far from the worst crystal. You can see here, because it is double domed, it's a pretty decent dome as well. I'd like to see just a flat crystal on this, or maybe a box dome. So, this does pick up a lot of reflections. Like you can see both of my studio lights there, and the window. So it's picking up reflections kind of from everywhere. And, that's just one of the negatives of this watch. In real life, it's fine. It's just when you're trying to photograph it, it makes it really difficult. But yeah, I think the crystal on this watch is fine. It's just nothing spectacular. But yeah, definitely functional and keeps the dial nice and clear, in my opinion. All right, so let's get up close and we'll talk about the dial on the watch. I think the dial on this one is kind of the star of the show. It does come in 6 different colorways. Much of them are a lot more bright than this one is. So this is a Breitling Top Time homage as far as the dial goes. But this one here, I think it looks fantastic. This is the one that I chose because of this dial. We don't get too many vertically brushed dials, and I think that needs to change. I absolutely love this dial. You can see here, it kind of changes from this nice bright light blue color, and then when you get it kind of off angle, it changes. It's going to be hard to show you because I've got so much light here, but when you get it kind of off angle, it changes to like a really dark blue, and it's very, very cool. And obviously it changes depending on how the lighting is hitting it. So it's a really interesting dial. I think they did an excellent job with it, and it's probably my favorite part of this watch. You can see here around the outside you have your tachymeter scale. I'm not sure why they did from 95 to 70 there in a white, just something a little bit different. The handset on this watch, nicely faceted. It does have a little black line that runs down the middle as well. So legibility on this is excellent in my opinion. Sometimes, like I showed like that, if you're looking at a weird angle or in low lighting, I guess the legibility could be a little bit of an issue, but for the most part, it's not a problem at all. But the hands, I think, are a good length. We have our lightning bolt kind of seconds hand there, and that can be adjusted with the movement, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. We have our 2 subdials there, so you have your 60-minute counter here for your chronograph, and then you have your running seconds hand for the normal time. Those are nicely done. They're kind of raised up above the dial. I think they look good. We have printed indices on this one, black indices, stick indices at all the hour markers except 3 and 9. And then they have little plots of lume at the end. So the lume on this watch, it's not the best. I will pop it up against a couple other watches that you can see here. And it does okay. It's about what I expected with this layout. It is BGW9, so it's that blue glow. It does okay. It's just not the best. And, I give a pass to chronographs. They don't need to have the best lume. This is far from the worst lume that I have in a chronograph, so that's good. But yeah, the lume is, it's okay, and I think it might be a little bit better on some of the other models just because of the layout of the lume. So the movement powering the watch is the Miyota 6S21 quartz chronograph. So getting a little bit of a different movement, and I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that. So the Miyota 6S21 is plus or minus 20 seconds per month as the stated accuracy. It's going to be a lot more accurate than that. And then the 3-year battery life. Those are the 2 main specifications that you have to worry about. It does have an independently adjustable chronograph hand. I'm going to need your guys' help though, because as you can see here, the chronograph minute counter is off. I was able to fix it once. Now I can't fix it again, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. But the functionality of the movement has been no issues other than that. I'm not even sure how that got off, because when it arrived, it was fine. But you push the top pusher here. You can see the chronograph seconds hand sweeps around. I believe it's 4 ticks per second, 4 or 5 ticks per second. So that's nice to see. It does have pretty decent feedback up here as well. You push it again, nice feedback there. And then you press this bottom button here, and you'll see the second hand sweeps all the way around and resets right to 0. And if that does ever get off, you can pull this out to the time setting position, press and hold the top pusher here, and it should sweep everything all the way around. And then you can adjust it as needed. You press it just to move it one little click, and then it's perfect. You push it in, and everything should reset. But for some reason, that chronograph minute counter there, I can't get it to reset, and I don't know how to. I've read the instructions, and I don't see a way to independently adjust that, but I have done it before. So, yeah, maybe it was just a fluke. I'm not really sure. I've also gone and taken this thing all the way around about 60 times to get that aligned, and then it didn't work. So that's not how you do it. So if someone knows the trick to that, let me know, because, yeah, I'm struggling. But other than that, The watch functions exactly like you would expect it to. It does have a ghost date position. I can hear the date clicking around back there, so not an issue for me. You pull it out to the second position, it does hack the movement, and this is where you set your time. Again, everything functions as you kind of expect it to. Good crown action feeling as well. It's just a push-pull crown, so we don't have to worry about threading. Same with the two pushers; those are non-screw down. So yeah, other than my little weird issue with that chronograph counter there, I've got no issues with the movement. All right, so let's talk about the strap. And I gotta say, this strap is awesome. They tout this as, you know, being a top grain strap and from a supplier that supplies some of the bigger brands. And I gotta say, this strap is really, really nice. It has a nice vintage look to it. It's this rally style strap here. It's got tan stitching with a nice brown leather. It smells good. It feels good right out of the box. You got one floating keeper, one stationary keeper. You've got an unsigned buckle. A little bit disappointed in that, but it's unoffensive, so that's nice. It does, you know, when you have it on wrist, it conforms nice, and you know, it's not sticking up or anything like that, so that's good. I think it's a good length. It comes with quick release spring bars. The bottom here is nice and soft. I mean, it's a really, really nice strap. I've been using this strap on other watches, and it looks just as good on them as it does on this. And if you guys are interested in this strap, they actually sell this strap separately. If you go to the link down in the video description, they are selling this strap. I think they have it priced at $16. Totally worth it, in my opinion. If you like the look of it, I think it's a no-brainer. It's a really, really nice strap. Good thickness. There's no padding or anything like that, so it does have a kind of a vintage look to it. But yeah, it is a really nice strap, and I'm happy that they put it on this watch. So there you go, guys. That is the Militado ML23. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this one. Do you like this movement over the Seiko VK movement? You know, this is, I believe, the second, maybe the third time I've had this movement, and I always wonder why more companies don't use this. I think it is maybe a little bit more expensive. I know the diameter is a little bit bigger as well, so you're not going to be able to get smaller watches with this one, so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not really sure, but I've really been enjoying this watch. I think the dial is fantastic. You're getting nice specifications for a really good price, and then they throw it on a leather strap that's this good. Yeah, there's really nothing to complain about when it comes to this one. Really, really happy with it, and I think you guys will be too. So again, I'll be leaving the links down in the video description, so go check out this watch. But I think that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.